You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. So I did not know this. I think because men don't care about this because our entire value is not tied up with, oh my God, a penis. Holy cow, am I swell. I'm better than those non-penile people because, I don't know, that's stupid. Again, I want brown-eyed day. The great blue-eye oppressors and the hazel-eye oppressors. Oh, man, don't get me started about them non-brown-eyed people. So I guess it's International Men's Day. You probably didn't hear about it because me, you don't care. And my friend did order, oh, there's the camera, A World Without Men. This is the first copy of mine I got. Book is out, link below. And I wanted to read through this because I have not once, and I think it's pretty much a universal experience among Western men. You've never heard people praising. I don't think we should be praising you because of traits you were born with. I'm generally against it. But I do draw the line where people start blaming you and men. Oh, we're just pigs and oppressors and patriarchy. Oh my God, did you ask a girl out? And I'm about half the reason I want to write this book. Fuck you. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck you. I'm not your. Fuck you. You're not oppressed. Shut the fuck up. We're sick of your lip. Oh geez, did you see what happened to the Marvels? No, more girl boss bullshit. I'm not even, that's not even shtick or controversy. I think men are just fucking sick, and we're not going to go celebrate ourselves. We actually have to go do some real things. But by God, men are getting sick and tired of being blamed for all your dumbass decisions. So the whole premise of this book was to see what would a world without men look like. And you could do it. I wish I capitalized on it earlier. And thank God the Department of Labor didn't take the data down. But the Department of Labor decided long ago to measure what men and women did in the U.S. economy anyway. And so you can actually look it up. I think the data is still there. I've downloaded the Excel file in case they take it down, because this is horribly bad, non-narrative fitting, politically incorrect data. Well, it's too late because it's out there now for everyone to see. I just wanted to, anytime anyone says that you're oppressing women, men are bad, we have like original sin, like, oh, you get institutional privilege and all bullshit. By the way, we don't need men. Right here. This is after I reconstituted the data. You could go look. I just want to read what a world without men would look like. The first thing women would notice is they would wake up in a room that is 8 feet by 10 feet. They might at first think they're in a closet or a joke is being played on them. But once they stepped outside, they would realize that would be their entire house, their entire dwelling. The reason is without men, about 97% of home building capacity would be eliminated from an all-female economy. And the remaining 3% of women who are capable of building, wiring, and plumbing a house wouldn't be able to build the luxurious 2,273 square foot homes the average American enjoys today. They would only be able to build 3% of that, i.e. a 77 square foot closet dwelling for women to live in, like beehives or apartments in New York. The line to the communal toilet would be longer than the Soviet bread line in the worst of their famines. That's because, as previously discussed, only 1/6 of the average of the sewage capacity would be built, since there are so few female plumbers and civil engineers. Obviously, most people wouldn't be able to hold it for that long, so a California-style sewer system would have to be implemented where you just shit in the streets. Women couldn't use their hair dryers, curling irons, radios, or televisions, and they certainly couldn't drive electric vehicles because the electrical generating capacity of the nation would drop by 93%. With only 718 kilowatt hours per person per year compared to the 10,600 men generate, women wouldn't even be able to use the lights, as in order to survive, they'd have to use that electricity to refrigerate their food. And this assumes it's one of those cube fridges, not a full-size one, because full-size refrigerators consume 1,400 kilowatt hours per year. This optimistically assumes you have food to store in the first place, because while you thankfully got rid of all those nasty oppressive men, and there's 50% less mouths to feed, your farming capacity would be cut by 87%. Currently, the average American woman consumes a 3,600 calorie diet per day. Without men, that would be cut down to 890, not even half of what is considered necessary to survive. Karl Marx himself couldn't have dreamed of a better diet plan. You might decide you want to leave this living nightmare, but not so fast. What vehicles exactly would you use to escape? Today, the average American driver owns 1.2 cars, but with the auto factories and mechanic shops running at 13% capacity they do today, because 87% of that is staffed by men, the average woman in an all-female economy would only own 15% of one car. To be perfectly honest, there wouldn't be cars, only public transportation. So instead of Audis and Range Rovers you could show off to your girlfriends, you'll instead have to take the bus or train, and not the clean, posh European variety you see in the movies, more like the San Francisco variety, replete with fragrant public transportation smells. Speaking of San Francisco public transportation, what about crime? It is true women commit only 22% of the crime men do, but they still do commit some crime, especially those without fathers, which there would be none in this theoretical world or modern day Chicago. But with 86% less cops and assuming a linear relationship between absence of cops and crime, that would indicate the crime rate in an all-female society would actually jump from 47.81 crime rate the UN gives the US now to a crime rate of 75.8, on par with Honduras. The good news, never mind, I won't go down that route. The good news is, even with double the crime, if you get injured, the surplus of women in the healthcare industry will make sure you're taken care of. That is, of course, unless you needed surgery, because while women do constitute the majority of healthcare workers, they only account for 37% of the doctors and 19% of the surgeons, assuming they are not working part-time or quitting the industry early, which a higher percent of the female doctors do. All of this optimistically assumes, however, the hospital has electricity, which it will not, so please get injured while there is sunlight. We could go on, but the above does two things. First, the scenarios paint a picture of what living in a world without men would look like. Second, the data and statistics tell us precisely what it would be like, as we can compare those statistics to similar countries and infer what awaits us in an all-female world. You can read through more of that there. The short point I want to do about International Men Day, because, again, I don't believe it. Men are valuable. Well, people are valuable. It depends on what you do. You're a soy boy, pot smoking, vaping, kratom, horking, whiny student loan bailout type. You have no value. But just because you are a man does not mean you're an enemy, does not mean you are bad, does not mean you have no value. And society, this is not an opinion, The statement that we don't need men is wrong. It is simply false. The world, and of course, when we're talking one half the population men, that means women, are hopelessly dependent upon men. There would not be a single thing on this planet except for caves and rocks if it wasn't for men. And there's a whole chapter about innovation. Go look it up. Let's take a look at the Nobel Prizes in engineering and science. Let's see who's dominating those fields. It's not even funny. It's not even a joke as to how critical, and I do mean the world, hopelessly dependent women are on men. Because if men went away, I read you an optimistic scenario, because that assumes the electrical grid alone, if you drop down to, 7% the electrical capacity, everything else is failing. There's no internet. There's no refining capacity. I mean, it all comes crashing down. And you will never get the current leaders of America and the West in general to admit how important men are, how critical we are. I'm not joking. We are society. Yes, there are women who are engineers and tradeswomen, but they're a distinct minority. You're never going to hear International Men's Day. Have you seen President Biden or anyone else? Thanks, guys, for, getting shot and signing up for war and, going out there to the Prudhoe Bay in Alaska. You're never going to hear it. That doesn't make it any less true. And that's fine. The leaders of the world don't have to, and your representatives in corporate America, you can even blame us wrongly for all the problems in the world. Discriminate against, that's fine. Doesn't change the fact you're all fucked without us. Hopelessly and irreparably fucked. And so, just so you guys know, there's nothing wrong with you being a guy. There's nothing great about you being a guy either. Don't go make the same mistake of women doing. Oh my God, a hole between our legs. I'm so great. I'm so great. I'm so great. Great is me. No. You're just a guy with a penis. That's all. There's nothing great about that. But as a group, since I guess everyone's concerned about traits instead of individual achievement, there's nothing wrong with you either. And if you want to go and do something, become a valuable member, a valuable person, absolutely go and do it. Go become a plumber. Go become a tradesman. Go become a soldier. Go become a cop. Go just not in major leftist towns, because then you can't defend anyone. Why would you want to defend those people anyway? Just go become. You don't have to worry about what society. This is all this is. All America is a continuation of middle school. High school ain't even high school. It's just middle school late, upper middle school. And it continues on until people die. It's just, you're just in a big popularity game of a bunch of sophomoric idiot adult children. If they want to do, jocks and nerds, they want to do whammon and not whammon, fine. In the meantime, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't even want to say be proud. What did you do personally? Don't worry about these. Go do something. Go be accomplished. But don't let the rest of society make you feel like somehow there's something wrong with you and you're bad. The link to the book, A World Without Men, is linked below. Ladies, I'd ask you to read it, but you don't want to hear anything that's constructive or critical of you. You're just going to make, oh my God, hole between the... Is there like a hole between the legs? We worship you. You have no value, but we worship you anyway. Hail, hail, the hole between the legs. All right, we got super chats. We got 3. Hand clogs, $2. We love women, YouTube. Cappy is just being... We like women, sure. Good women. Think about what I say. Remove any kind of trait. Oh my gosh, this thing I was born with. It could be sexuality, race, class, brown eyes. Oh my, it's like, how much of an idiot would I be just worshiping brown? I want a brown eyes people studies department at the university. I want to head it up. Go get paid $500 an hour to teach brown-eyed discrimination at the corporations. Think about how boring these people are. Like, oh, that's your thing, huh? You were born that way, and that's the most important thing about you. What gets me is how all the institutions of society indulge women in this. Like, oh my God, you're just braving him. She don't even like an accountant or an engineer. What do you mean? Women in STEM, I get that because the STEM part has value. You make half the population. You're not special. Expecting truck driving Latino. See, notice we put the truck driving before the Latino. The Latino is merely descriptive, and it also rhymes. That's why we do it. Rhymes with his last name. We frankly don't give a shit that he's a Latino. We're like, truck driver? Yeah, he's the guy who keeps us stocked over at Walmart. Alex Patino, our truck driving distant third Germain point Latino agent in the field. I've read some books by an author called Whiskey Flowers. He or she sometimes writes about a female-led kingdom using magic in order to subjugate men. They're gonna, it's called the pussy. That's how I'm not joking. To eventually fall when genius man. Fall when genius man? You mean like one guy doesn't fall for it? It's somewhat, it's a bit of a stretch, but the power of the pussy is somewhat of magic. You guys, my God, the stuff you tolerate, but that's kind of going away. That's going away. Alex Patino, Church of Latino again, $5. The point I was trying to make is that men are rebellious unless the man is lazy. Boy, I wonder, maybe a whole other book and require medical people, not me, to see the effects of lower testosterone. Like there's no hope. Your parents don't train you. No guys going to the gym. Boys don't get in fights anymore. You're emasculated. Testosterone goes down. The diet, all of what I'm saying is the testosterone in men is going down. How much more obedient and complacent are they? They're pretty obedient and complacent. I saw some TikTok video of your typical soy boy, bearded Minneapolis pussy, like, oh my God, he was complaining about something. We're just such bad people. Oh. But yeah, I'm wondering if high testosterone guys are less lazy. I don't know. Benny D, $2 Cappy. It's bonus hole these days. I don't care. Whatever they want to call it, man. Think about how. Here's another thing for the guys. Look, okay, you're born. Okay, you're here. Your conscience is sentient. Do you want your entire life to be a? Think about how boring our lives would be if we had Penis Day. Oh my God, it's Penis Day, which is, again, I don't celebrate International Men's Day. It's just like, okay, yay for us. I got stuff to do. Could you imagine if your entire value was about yourself, like peak epitomal narcissism, where what do you get up for every day? Myself, which from a survival standpoint, I understand, but a living standpoint, oh my God, I'm gonna jerk off to myself in the mirror and I'm gonna have a flag with the male symbol on it. We're just so amazing. And everyone should worship us. There's a way. What would that be? You don't create anything, you don't do anything, you don't build anything. You think if there was male studies, how fucking worthless of a person would you have to be to go study your gender and pay tuition for it at college? I'd rather go. Can't you go fishing? Can't you program something? Go protect society? Go literally anything but studying yourself. DJ Seymour, $10. Keep up the good work. I got nothing else to look. This fell into my lap. Society has lost its goddamn mind. And I just come out here saying, like, you're celebrating the fact that you didn't do anything and you were born a certain way. The people that had sex before you didn't even control it's a 50-50 shot. You literally make up 50% of the population. And that's the number one thing about you. And the other half are the bad people. Get the fuck out of here. The other half ask us out and they sometimes talk to us and we don't like to. Oh, nosies. Horror. I get it's annoying. That much I'm sympathetic with women because the male sex drive is so much. But my God. Narcissism. It's in the book. All right, that's it. Happy International Men's Day, guys. Now get to fucking work. See you guys later. Toodles.